different types of college admissions. All right. Now, one of the major types of college admissions that you hear about is what we call early decision. Now, early decisions are basically when you pick a school to go to before the actual time for regular admissions and you commit to that school. So let's say, for example, you go visit Northwestern in September. They like you, they make you an offer, and you decide to accept it. Now, there's two things happen. Number one, once you accept it, all the other applications that you have, they have to withdraw. They have to withdraw. So it gets a little tricky because let's say you apply to 5 schools and this is the only school that got back to you, and they're saying, hey, if you make a decision right now, you're in. And generally, when we start talking about early decision, especially, there's usually some money involved. I'm just talking from experience. I mean, some scholarships, things that are available because they want to bring you on their campus to. They want you to be a part of their family. So early admission, Northwestern gives you an offer, but you apply to 5 other schools. Now with those other schools, you gotta put them to the back burner. And I'm gonna tell you what happens if you don't do that. Let's say if you decide you want to go to Northwestern, and then 2 weeks down the line, you say, "Nah, I don't want to go to." You committed, and then you turn it down. Well, some of those other schools, it's kind of like, it's a small circle. They'll find out that you turned the other school down, and they might not accept you either. So you really want to be careful when you start talking about early decision. I basically say don't go unless, number one, they're giving you a full ride, and number two, that's the first school that you want to go. That's the first or second school on your list. But it can be a bit of a gamble because you don't want to give up. You don't want to waste opportunities, and you know what I'm saying, and miss chances. So that's what we mean by early decision. Early decision could be as early as September. Generally, when you hear this, we're thinking about athletes. Like, maybe somebody might commit to go play a different school. So, yeah. Also, remember, as an international student as well, you kind of want to be careful because you might do early admission. You've never even visited the campus, never even seen it. You're living 5,000 miles away somewhere, and you've never been to America, and you're choosing the first school that comes to you. So, please, you have to be patient with that. All right? Now, early action. Now, these early admissions programs, early action basically just says that students get the benefit of early notification without the obligations of early decision. So basically, you get notified that you got accepted, but you don't have to make any serious commitment. And even if you do get accepted, you're free to apply to other colleges and to compare financial aid offers. Because generally what happens is that most people, they get accepted to maybe all the schools they want. Now they want to find out who's giving the money away. Or as we say in America, who's giving up the bag. All right? Because at the end of the day, if you have great grades and a great profile, it's a bidding war. You want to make sure you're getting the most money as possible. I repeat, the most money as possible. If you're a straight A student and you have good test scores, there's no reason why you should be paying for school in America unless you just want to pay for it. All right. So then we also have down here single choice early action. A single choice early action program specifically requires students not to make early admission applications to other colleges, although they are free to apply elsewhere under the regular admissions round. All right. So basically, they just require students not to make these early admission applications to other college. All right. So you may apply to other colleges regularly, but you can't do early admission to these schools. All right. And this early admission thing, I mean, this is really really important because you may get an offer for early admission to several schools, and you really want to compare and figure out what's going to be best for you and how much money they're giving you. I hate to say it like it's all about money, but how much dough are these guys giving to you? Because school's not cheap. And I'm just being 100% honest with you. All right. Then what you have is immediate decision days. And we've seen a lot of these popping up, especially after the pandemic. So these are days basically where you apply for school and they let you know sometimes the same day or the same hour if you're in or if you're not. You bring all your credentials and they'll automatically, guarantee you admission. You have a lot of these coming on. Now, that doesn't mean you get guaranteed financial aid, but they do guaranteed admissions. You're noticing this is the trend amongst a lot of schools recently, especially since the pandemic. People aren't going out to visit schools anymore, and school enrollment, on campus enrollment, has been down. So these schools are scrambling to get as many kids as they can into these desks. And don't you ever think in this world that education is not a billion, if not $1 trillion business. Billions and trillions. So, you know, students bring money, all right? And smart students bring prestige and honor and respect to their university. All right? Now, we're going to go into what we call rolling admission days. Now, rolling admissions basically means that there's no set deadline for applying. So let's say, for example, it's July. University of South Mississippi says they have rolling admissions. You know what that means? That means that right now you could apply for University of Southern Mississippi or whatever school I said, because there's no specific deadline. All right. Whereas some schools may say deadline for this semester is the 14th, or deadline for that semester is that. Rolling admissions means that there is no deadline. Now, they're not obligated to accept you, but that's what rolling admissions mean. Now, with that being said, it's not beneficial for you to delay applying to school. So even if a school has rolling admissions, you don't want to get on the habit of waiting till the last minute to apply for these schools, because it'll be stressful for you. It's going to be stressful for your family. So those are just the type of college admissions we have here. I actually have this recorded with the visual on the iPad, where it has where it pretty much has the the definitions and what they are, goes in a bit more details, and as well let me touch on another program called the Common App. Now, basically what a bunch of schools in America did, I want to say maybe around 400 schools, they pretty much came together and said, why are we all getting these kids to apply for the separate application for each school? So basically, the Common App is where you fill out an application online, do all your demographics, where you live, this, that, whatever, test scores, this, that, whatever, and then you could check off the button of which colleges you want to apply to. Now, there are many colleges that have, waived tuition. Waived application fees. A lot of them are like that because they're trying to attract many students. Whereas some you might have to pay $25, $50, and $75. All right, and even with some of those, if you need some help, you could write them and tell them, it's a financial aid issue, you don't have a lot of money. They'll even waive a lot of those. I've gotten so many college fees waived, I can't even count. All right. So now once you go to the Common App, you see a list of the schools, about 400 schools, and now you could check off which schools you want that application sent to. All right. Which one do you want your application sent to? You're not sending 5, 6, 7, 10 different schools. You just check it off and answer some questions. Now, the Common App, sometimes they do want you to answer some additional questions that you might not have done on your other applications. So that's the Common App. All right. Questions, comments, ideas, please email me, info@belgravecollege.com. This lecture will also be on the whiteboard, so you can go through and you can look at it. Sound quality might not be as good, but you're getting the same thing, and you're just getting some visuals that go with this. All right, so we will talk to you later, and hope everything goes good for you.